And welcome back. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that break. It was short and sweet, and we have returned with our lower quarterfinals match to determine who moves on to the semifinals. And here we go. In the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player representing himself, the Masters Coliseum runner-up. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gressfarm, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing Twisted Minds. It is Classic. Again, in the most recent Premier events, Cure has come second. It wasn't just the Masters Coliseum, but it was also Gamers 8 as well, where Cure came second back-to-back in Gamers 8 and in Masters Coliseum. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Is a Cure? Is this going to be a season? Is this GSL going to be a season? Is DreamHack Winter going to be his event as well? My eyes are on Cure. My eyes are on Cure. They are definitely on him for these deep runs. But can he be stopped in this weekly tournament, though? That's the question. Classic has already gotten his revenge. Oh, as he's going for something very aggressive. This is a double gate opener. Okay. You have my attention. So we have two gateways here already on the way for Classic. So he's looking to be in the face of Cure sooner rather than later before he goes into his expansion. So Classic, he does delay his own Nexus in favor of this more aggressive opener. Meanwhile, Cure is SCV scouting. Bearing in mind that this is something that he skipped against Stats, but he is doing against Classic. I think this is a wise choice. I think Stats is a little bit more samey. He's a little bit more standard in how he approaches the game. Classic can be more aggressive and more out of left field. SCV comes in, gets eyes on the pylon, as well as the timing on the CC. Sorry, the timing on the Nexus. Before he does dip out. There we go. We're making 2 Adepts at a time. The goal here is that Classic's going to be zooming across the map. He's going to be looking to take control of the natural and deny mining here at the natural for as long as he can. Here we go. We have the first 2 Adepts. We have 2 more on the way behind this. We can even go up to 6. Now, the downside to what Classic is doing is that this does delay the tech. This does delay the tech of choice, whether it would have been a Twilight Council or a Stargate. In favor of these Adepts, and there we go. Twilight Council is now thrown down. Adepts, they have arrived, and they don't quite make it into the main base. They are stuck in a pretty awkward position, though. But again, the goal here from Classic is to maintain control of the low ground, contain Cure to 1 base. You can see that he is oversaturated in his main. It is not safe to mine here from his own natural. So there we go. The 3rd and 4th Adept have arrived, and we are slowly working through this deeper. Oh my god! Over time, this Deeper getting very low. Marines have arrived. One of these Reapers will fall, and now we can focus on the SCVs. At least until the Cyclone arrives. And with this Cyclone, oof. Adepts, they came back 1 second too soon. And these Adepts are being just shut down. 1 Adept makes it into the main base, but I don't think this is the trade that Classic was really looking for. 4 Adepts for 1 SCV. Lost mining time, yes, but it was quite a hefty loss. Now Cure has map control. He's moving out across the map with his Cyclone, with his Marines. Back at home, Classic is working towards Blink. It is a 2-gate, the follow-up is going to be 2-gate Blink into a 3rd base, so very economic here from Classic. Does he have enough to hold on, though? Does he have enough, as Blink is still halfway done? He has 3 Stalkers. But with these 2 Cyclones, yeah, Cure, he can break this. Oh. Can break this. He gets 2 big lock-ons, and he will take down 2 of those Stalkers. He takes down the 3rd Stalker as well, and Classic, he's running out of units. He's running out of DPS. He does take down one of the Cyclones. Oh. And boys, they have to be pulled. A lot of workers are going down. Classic will clean up this army, but again, just trading with the Stalkers and getting 7 probes. A good trade for Cure, and he's not done. He's never done. He's going for a jump into the main. Meanwhile, Classic is just preparing himself, trying to get into his 3rd base saturation. Still working off of only 2 gateways. He can only warp in 2 units at a time. And the drop, it slips into the main. Now Blink is done. Oh my god, and we could maybe it's the medevac. Oh my god. I'm still dying, but medevac does go down. Big loss for Cure. Oh my god. Cure flying too close to the sun. Got burned. Got burned hard, Papi. And suddenly, things aren't too bad here for Classic. Like, he's got Blink, of course. He's on 3 bases. He's getting them saturated. He's building up his gateway count. Getting up to 6 gates. Sorry, 8 gates. Now, something that Classic is lacking in is splash damage, unfortunately. Whether it's Colossus Disruptors or Storm, one of those would be ideal. For now, Classic is just staying on a very gateway-centric army composition. But we should soon be seeing a Robotics Bay, I imagine. Just because we are commencing Immortal production and should be leading into Colossi. Until then, though, Cure is stuck at home. After losing that drop, he's kind of been relegated to just stay at home for a little bit, build up his forces, get his 3rd base up and running, and there we go, it was on location. Now we can main out over and take advantage of this 3rd. At the same time, it is going to be moving out. This move out is spotted by Classic. Can he escape that Raven? Up! Oh, it looks like he cannot. Observer does go down. Classic getting in position. As he's actually going for a Zealot run by at the same time. Old move here by Classic. This is also a really interesting base location for Cure. Oh, Classic attempted to set up a surround, but he does get caught out instead, and he's going to be losing a decent chunk of these Zealots. There we go, we have more Zealots on the way. The tank was left exposed, and Classic, he's just picking Cure apart. The tanks go down. We do have 1 mine, but up. It's going to be a decent connection on the Stalkers of all things. Good anti-armor missile as well. Cure is going to force Classic back. No big commitment, but again, losing that tank was a pretty big blow. Now Classic, he's undeterred. He's going for a drop into the main. Back at home, what do we have to work with? We're still building up the Immortal count. And the armies are missing each other. Uh-oh. Are we just going to commit to a base trade? Nah, Classic, he turns around. Immortal gets caught out. Robo as well. It's a tough decision here for Classic, but again, he just was completely out of position. Natural base completely exposed. 21 probes go down. And this is just too much. Even if Classic cleans this up, the damage has been done, and he's not going to clean this up. Big anti-armor missile on these Stalkers, and that means that Cure, he can just clean this up. He can fight toe-to-toe with this army, takes down the Immortals, takes down the Zealots, the Stalkers as well. And Classic has nothing left. He's got a couple of Zealots across the map. No, never mind, they go cleaned up. GG gets called. And Cure takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Oh god. As we're getting into this, and okay, sorry. We're just trying to figure out what was going on. Just trying to figure out what was happening in terms of some of the other streams that are going on. I think it's all good. I think it's all good. So we are getting into this. And spawning in the oh there we go. Hold on, I was just trying to make sure that there was actually a Chinese stream going on. Alright, cool. As we're getting into this and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the South Korean Terran player, representing himself. Again, the runner-up of so many premier events recently and leading the series 1-0, it is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss representing Twisted Minds. Down in the series, it is Classic. So unfortunate that he got caught out of position there. He was doing well with Cure keeping up, but again, we saw Cure just wedge himself into that natural base. Classic was in the midst of going for his own move out as well, and we would have either headed towards a base trade at that moment, or again, Classic, he decided to turn back around. But what was he really turning around to save? As by the time he did, he had already lost his natural. It was already gone at that point. Here we go, we're getting into that second game. From here, Classic is going for a much more standard opener this time. If you remember, in the previous game, he went for a 2-gate opener, was far more aggressive. Now going for a gate expand, or a gate cyber into expansion. Something a lot more standard. Likewise, Cure going for a Rax into CC as well. He's not going for a double gas opener, which is what we saw against Stats. Cure being a little more economic here on Royal Blood as well. We're calming down, Bobby. We're calming down. From both sides. I see some other people showing up in the chats. Yo, we have Night Phoenix. Quack. Quack Night Phoenix. We have Stephen Curry. Colossal Gob. Colossi, Papi. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you've had a good day. Hope you've had a good morning over in the land of North America. Cure is going to be just dipping into the main base, just trying to get a read on what's going on. Looking at his vision, he doesn't quite see the tech, but he does knock himself over the wall. And Cure gets in. He confirms the Twilight Council. Very nice scout here from Cure. The boys are being pulled, but boys are going down. Classic was not in position. He's across the map with his first 2 adepts instead. And he's going to be losing 2 probes back at home before shutting down that Reaper. At the same time, adepts across the map, they get, I think, 1 SCV. Yeah, they get 1 SCV. But there are only 2 adepts, so eventually this will be dealt with. Far sooner, far faster than previously. As the adepts do go down. Classic, how do we come back from having a bit of a scuffed start to this game? The gold base. No! Is Cure gonna check? As Classic takes the gold, Cure does come across the Stalker and is being zoned away. Cure is in the dark. Again, these gold bases are very commonplace in PvT and a little bit in PvP as well. Classic always more than willing to take the gold base on Royal Blood against Terran. Same with Hero. And Cure, he checks the gold base over towards the left-hand side. He's aware of the possibility, but he hasn't checked the right-hand side yet. He hasn't gone in that direction. Hellions do end up confirming the gold. At the same time, the drop does slip into the main. As the drop didn't quite do too much damage, is going to be able to get a couple of probes. 2 workers that do go down, do confirm the opener, of course, at least. And the goal here from Cure is just to pull apart Classic here. He's forced to leave some supply in the main, leaving some supply here in the natural as well. Classic is being spread thin, and we'll see where Cure decides to hit. Again, he's fully aware of this goal base. Recall is going to saturate it. And Kier, he could try to go for the gold, he could try to drop into the main instead. Kier has options with how he wants to approach this, how he does want to attack. A couple more probes are falling back at home. We do have a pretty decent setup here. We're going up to 5 racks. Is okay. This is looking like a 2-base all-in. So a couple more probes go down. But essentially there is no third CC. We threw down an armory as well just to help with these widow mines. But the third CC is becoming more and more delayed at this point for Cure. I'm curious if it's just going to be a late third or if he does plan on going all in here on 2 bases. There we go. Curie's going for a mine drop towards the gold. He's still just building up his forces. His Ravens are gathering energy. Marines, Marauders. Classic taking the other gold base as well. Let's go. Drop is spotted. Drop is shut down. Very nice pick off here from Classic. Cure is attempting to break out. Already the Stalkers are here to slow them down. Good blink control from a Classic. He's going to be coming in with those Zealots as well. Again, the gold minerals coming in clutch. Big anti-armor missile on those Zealots. But even with that, is it going to be enough? As Cure, he's bleeding out units. He's stuck on 2 bases. No third base in sight for Cure. And the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for Classic. Now, bearing in mind that Classic is heavily reliant on a gateway army. It's a pure gateway army. Stalkers and Zealots, that is it. No Colossus, no Disruptors, no Storm. So, the versatility of his army is quite limited with how he wants to engage. Good SimCity will work heavily against Classic. But the mine drop does slip in. Gonna get a couple of shots off. At the same time, we do have a drop on the left-hand side, and this gold base will go down. Classic cannot defend these fringe bases. He's gonna commit instead. He pushes up into the natural base, takes down the tank. He's gonna try to force his way into this choke point. Good mine shots. But does Cure have enough of an army? Does he have enough DPS? Yeah, the boys, they have to be pulled. Force field is making things awkward, and a lot of SCVs are going down. Oh my god. The Zealots are going ham, papi. The 1-1 Zealots. At the same time, though, we do have a drop into the main base, and that does force a recall. That forces Classic back home. Oh, and I don't know if Classic has enough here. He's going to be losing his Zealots. He's going to be losing his Stalkers as well. Cure, he can stim forward. Yeah, Cure, he has too much. Classic, he was doing a great job at pushing into the natural, but this one double drop, it killed a Nexus, and now it may even kill the entire main. Gateways are being depowered. We can't warp in. Oh my god. We cannot warp in, and even with the power of the gold base, it looks like Cure is doing this with a 2-base all in. Who needs a third? Who needs a gold? Not Cure. As his army is slowly being thinned out, but we have a second army moving out across the map. And again, a Classic cannot keep up with the warp-ins. Cannot keep up with the production. Immortal goes down, Zelts as well. GG gets called, and Cure will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semifinals. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Cure looking strong here again. I was concerned. I was concerned that he was going to be contained. I was concerned that Classic was going to be able to keep up and shut down those drops. And he was initially, but all it took was 2 medevacs. 2 medevacs slipping out on the left-hand side, not just killing a Nexus, but not turning back around. Remember, Cure, he committed to that double drop as he was defending his own natural back at home. He had the confidence to defend while also attacking at the same time, and he was able to pull it off, was able to hold on, was able to counterattack, cripple Classic in the process, and GG. GG, well played. Cure advances on to the semifinals. Does he have an opponent ready and waiting? That becomes the next question.